Hey everyone, Goji Fan Predator 2003 here. Now, I know it's been a while since I've uploaded, and well, let's just say things have been going on as of late. Been very busy with certain things outside of YouTube, and other certain events have been going on. So, I just need a break from YouTube from uploading for a while. But I'm back now, and I have a bit of news. This current review may be the last one I do in a very long time because, admittedly, the Days with Kaiju, Making of a Wild Age, the reviews, then Monster Facts, they're getting kind of repetitive. So, for the meantime, after this review and the upcoming Monster Facts, it will be the last two I do of either of those for a while because I want to focus a bit more on Days with Kaiju and Making of Wild Age. Add a bit more sort of lore to the world I'm trying to build. But, or rather, worlds, since the two are kind of separate. So, here we go. Without further ado, here is the Godzillasaurus from Godzilla Minus One. This is his pre-irradiated form, as you can tell. And let's get right into the history. So, he first made his screen debut in Godzilla Minus One, in where he was shined with a light from a watchtower, and he roared at that angrily and knocked it down. He started to look around the base that was around that island, a small repair base, or a small Japanese army base around there, and started sniffing around for anything he could find to eat. And Shikishima, the main character, was ordered to fire his guns from the plane at the Godzillasaurus, but he didn't. And, well, soon one of the workers who had a gun started shooting scared at him, and that did not settle well with Godzillasaurus. So he started going after them, started stomping on them, biting them, swiping them with his tail, and wrecking the place even further. And eventually, his tail hit the plane, and that was the last time we saw him before the um, before the nuclear bomb hit, or the hydrogen bomb, so to speak. And yeah, we did see his eye sort of. Yeah, we did see his eye when the bomb hit, and he was not sounding too happy. But that was the last we saw of Godzilla in his pre-irradiated form, the Godzillasaurus, so to speak. And that's it. For a little fun fact, a lot of people say that the guns on the plane would do some damage, but given how resilient Godzilla is, and given that in 1991, I believe, the Godzillasaurus had taken heavy fire from a cannon from a ship, that did more damage than guns from a small plane or guns from people. So yeah, those small guns on the plane wouldn't have done a thing to Godzilla either way. Yeah, so let's get right into articulation, shall we? As you can see, he can rotate his legs. Of course, you have to move the arms out of the way, and they can rotate too, both sides, but gotta move certain things out of the way. His tail doesn't rotate. That's a single mold on there. And its tail doesn't rotate because that's glue sealed. So, yep. As for detail, you see his claws are painted. So that's cool. However, his back claws, his dual claws, these things right here. Yeah, those are painted. So that's a nice little detail. He's got a little bit of brown paint over here. That's why it's shining a bit. Also on his arms, a bit on his neck, underneath. On the sides, his mouth is painted, his teeth are painted, his eye is painted, but his spikes don't get any, or rather dorsal fins don't get dorsal plates, so to speak. They don't get any paint at all. Though he does have a lot of detail to make up for it, and there are certain scars in this area, which leads us to assume that he may have fought either another monster or another member of his species before we saw him on screen. So that's a little fun thing to think about. And yeah, And they also got good little crowns of detail inside of in between the dorsal plates, trying to focus it a bit on there. I don't have too much of a light, so yeah, that's it. So why don't we compare his size to other monsters? Gonna have to hold up camera a bit. All right, take that off there for now. Hang on. Let's compare him with GMK Bandai Creations King Ghidorah. Yeah. This is kind of Heisei Godzilla versus King Ghidorah in a way, but, well, it's a Reiwa Godzillasaurus fighting a Millennium Ghidorah, so that's something. Yeah, that kind of feels accurate, so yeah, I'd say that's good. And here is Rodan, the Godzillasaurus. He'll probably be a bit smaller, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, the Godzillasaurus would be smaller, a bit smaller than Rodan and King Ghidorah. As you can see, yeah, he'll probably be about this high, so to speak. Yep, let's move these two out of the way. And let's bring in King Caesar from Bandai Creations. And yeah, he would still be about half as tall. Now let's compare him to his evolved form, Godzilla -1. Yeah, he would probably still be lower. Godzilla, he would probably still be a bit lower than right now. Yeah. Yeah, probably still be a bit lower. Now, I'm sorry for making those, like, as if he was looking at certain areas, but, well, yeah, I apologize for that. So, yeah. I still think he would be about a bit less tall, so to speak. Actually, let's keep these two together. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. So, my thoughts on this? I'd say it's a pretty good redesign, and given by the looks of it, I say it was a bit based off of the early concept art for the first Godzilla in 1998, before it became, well, infamous, so to speak, throughout the fandom. I mean, Godzilla was expected to look different, and a lot of people preferred the first design compared to the final design that we got in Godzilla 1998. So, yeah, I guess this was sort of a retcon to it, in design-wise. Yeah? No, just me? No, well, anyways. I think it was cool. So, yeah. My thoughts on it, this guy is actually pretty solid. I have a few ideas for it moving later on. Maybe you'll see him in the upcoming Monster Facts, maybe. So, yeah. Now, in the movie, we never really did get a confirmation if he actually fought another member of his species. It's simply just been speculated, given the scars on him. But that could even have been from a boat or a fishing boat or something else, like a boat or something. But, yeah. Anyways, I feel like they could have done a bit more. Maybe, like, show him, like, in the water, evolve into this, sort of like a Pokemon, but more bloody, so to speak. Actually, no, that probably wouldn't settle well on camera. Yet they did show the fallout from Godzilla -1, and that was a film that did Godzilla right. A 5-star rating, yeah. That won an Oscar. The first time Godzilla's won an Oscar, so yeah, that was impressive. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on Godzilla -1, his pre-irradiated form. And, yeah, next time, alright, it would be a long while before I do another Godzilla or Kaiju figure review. So, yeah, just gonna put that out there right now. Alright, it's time to get worked on Monster Facts. Now, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss a video or any sort of upload. And I'll see you next time. And if you don't do all that, I may send this guy to come find you and eat you. If not, well, who am I kidding? Okay, basically, if you don't do all that good stuff, then he may show up at your doorstep and may bite your head off. Okay, bye.